Take a look at this fjord on the southern tip of Greenland, near a town called Narsaq, with a population you could fit into a single American high school. Beneath the rock walls surrounding this fjord sits one of the largest known deposits of rare earth elements on the entire planet. Over 11 million metric tons of ore at a site called Kvanefjeld, alongside a second massive deposit nearby called Tanbreez. Greenland currently ranks 8th in the world for confirmed rare earth reserves, at roughly 1.5 million proven tons. But some geologists believe the true number, once the ice sheet covering 81% of the island is accounted for, could run as high as 36 to 42 million tons, a figure that would rival China's own supply. And yet, as of this year, not 1 ounce of rare earth material has ever been commercially mined anywhere on the island. So why has an island holding one of the largest untapped mineral fortunes on the planet suddenly become the most fought-over piece of real estate in global politics, without a single functioning mine to show for it? What's actually confirmed? Greenland's mineral wealth is concentrated overwhelmingly in one region, the Garder province in the far south of the island, where Kvanefjeld and Tanbreez both sit within a few miles of each other. Kvanefjeld alone contains an estimated 370,000 metric tons of heavy rare earth elements, the more valuable subset of rare earths used in permanent magnets for electric motors and defense systems, making it the 3rd largest known onshore deposit of its kind anywhere on Earth. Beyond rare earths, Greenland also holds significant uranium, copper, graphite, and zinc, and the island qualifies for 25 of the 34 minerals the European Union classifies as critical, and 43 of the 50 the United States considers strategic for national security. Despite all of this, Greenland today operates exactly 2 active mines, a small gold operation called Nalunak and an anorthosite mine called White Mountain, neither of which produces a single one of the critical minerals currently driving global interest. Ancient magma beneath the ice. The reason this specific corner of Greenland holds so much rare earth material comes down to the Garder province's unusual geologic history. Roughly 1.3 billion years ago, this region experienced a prolonged period of continental rifting as the crust slowly stretched and thinned, allowing unusual alkaline magmas, chemically distinct from ordinary volcanic rock, to rise up and intrude into the surrounding bedrock over an extended period of time. These alkaline intrusions are particularly good at concentrating rare earth elements into economically viable deposits, in much the same way similar formations have produced major rare earth deposits elsewhere in the world. Over the following billion years, erosion and, much later, the advance and retreat of massive ice sheets during multiple ice ages gradually stripped away the rock above these intrusions, in some places exposing the mineral-rich formations directly at the surface along Greenland's ice-free southern coast, while leaving the vast majority still buried under a mile of ice further north. A resource known for decades, developed by nobody. Small-scale mining has actually taken place along Greenland's ice-free coastal strip since as early as 1780, mostly modest coal, lead, and zinc operations serving local needs. Modern interest in Kvanefjeld's rare earth potential dates back to exploration and pre-feasibility work completed by an Australian company in 2007, with the project entering formal permitting in 2015. In 2019, during President Trump's first term, the United States signed a Memorandum of Understanding with Greenland specifically to jointly survey and develop the island's rare earth and critical mineral potential, an agreement that quietly lapsed years later after renewal efforts under the following administration failed to gain traction. For most of this history, Greenland's rare earth wealth remained exactly what it had always been, confirmed on paper, but essentially untouched. Why nothing gets built? In 2021, Greenland's parliament passed a law banning uranium mining above a strict concentration threshold, a policy aimed at protecting the environment and reassuring residents worried about radioactive contamination. The problem is that Kvanefjeld's rare earth ore is naturally intertwined with uranium, and its concentration sits above that legal limit, effectively freezing the project in place. The Australian company developing the site has since filed an international arbitration claim seeking $11.5 billion in compensation, arguing the law amounted to an unlawful seizure of its investment. Beyond the legal fight, the practical barriers are just as severe. Roughly 4 out of every 5 acres of Greenland sit beneath a mile of ice. There are almost no roads connecting its major towns, and building any mining infrastructure this far into the Arctic can cost 5 to 10 times more than an equivalent project almost anywhere else on Earth, stretching typical development timelines that already run a decade or longer in far easier climates. Why everyone suddenly cares anyway? None of these obstacles have stopped a scramble for influence over the island. China's Shenke Resources holds a significant stake in the company developing Kvanefjeld, giving Beijing a foothold in the project despite the current legal freeze. In June 2025, the U.S. Export-Import Bank sent a formal letter of interest for a $120 million loan to help fund development at the competing Tanbreez site. And throughout 2026, President Trump has repeatedly pushed for a formal minerals arrangement with Greenland, at one point framing it as part of a broader security package alongside missile defense cooperation, while explicitly stating the goal is less about needing the minerals themselves and more about denying China and Russia a foothold in the Arctic. Denmark, which governs Greenland as an autonomous territory, has firmly and repeatedly stated the island is not for sale, and polling shows barely 6% of Greenland's roughly 56,000 residents support joining the United States, with the overwhelming majority opposed. So Kvanefjeld and Tanbreez sit exactly where they have sat for over 1 billion years, holding some of the richest known rare earth deposits on the planet, blocked not by geology, but by a uranium law, an ongoing arbitration case, a population of 56,000 people who have made their preference clear, and an Arctic landscape that makes almost everything more expensive than it looks on a map. The minerals were never the mystery. What nobody has yet solved is how to get a Danish territory's parliament, an Australian mining company, a Chinese investor, and an American president chasing a security deal, all pointed in the same direction long enough for anyone to actually start digging. If you'd like to see more of this, please like and subscribe.